Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for joining us again. Sunbury-on-Thames, as you can see, is our subject today. But before I do anything else, let me just introduce Dan. Dan, morning to you in England.
Good morning.
Hi, John. Good to see you on the show, and it is a show.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks very much.
Looking forward to this. I know Sunbury. And Pete, perhaps you want to give us your state of the market, state of the nation, what's going on over there?
State of the market. Well, I think we are starting to see some improvement in sentiment. In particular, the London market seems to be picking up quite a bit of momentum in terms of inquiries, which is good. And we're also just seeing some much better drops in the mortgage rates. Yeah. We're down to 5.01 yesterday, and that's an awful lot better. So we're not going to see big falls in the mortgage rates, so I'm not going to try and suggest anything other. But if we get stability, then that's what we're really after. The fact is that we're still hugely undersupplied with product, and rents, in my opinion, have peaked. I would suggest that other than certain small areas, we've had our rises. So it's a lot easier to actually calculate where we are when you're looking at your investment potential. I think we're not going to see big drops in property values. We may see another 2 or 3%, but that's really insignificant compared to the rises in the rent in the yield profile that we've had. So there's every reason to feel confident. And as Chris and I always say, there's only one thing you've got to do to make money in property, and that's be in it. Don't try catching a falling knife. Don't try second guessing when a market's going to go up slightly or down slightly. This is a medium-term play, and any 10-year period will give you stellar returns. So it's really important that we all understand that. And it should equal, property should equal towards a third of somebody's investment portfolio. It doesn't go wrong over the long term. So I'm still very confident with property, and most serious people are. Some of my larger commercial friends are out there buying considerable amounts of stock. And that's because there are some good deals to be done. And what I would say to you, when I went up to Sunbury-on-Thames, firstly, it's a great location. And secondly, it feels right. When you have curb appeal and when you walk the bricks, it's really important to ask yourself the very basic questions, which I always do. Would you consider living here yourself? Would you consider investing here yourself? And does it feel right? And it does, especially for our millennial friends that want to skip into London. You know, you're sort of 15 minutes away, which these guys will tell you about. But literally a 75-yard walk to the station, and you hop and you skip and you're into London. So it's directly off the M3. Literally, I don't know, must be 300 yards for us oldies, 278 meters for those of you that are digital. All I'd say to you is this is a great location. It's great stock. It's physically built. There's no development risk. And also, I'd like to say this is a wonderful opportunity for anyone wanting to carry out a bulk purchase. Very seldom do you actually get to see an investment where it's not what's known as pepper potted. In other words, where other people own some of the properties within it. And this is a USP on this block. So if you do have seasoned investors that want to gain complete control of a block, you aren't going to do better than this. I'm just
I think that
leave you guys with it for a second.
That is the USP, I think. I mean, I do know the area. It's a nice area on the Thames, as it says in the name. So, Dan, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Chris, for the introductions. We're really excited to launch our first project with Holborn today, the first of many coming up. I'm going to first hand over to John, who's going to do a little bit of an overview about Wortherby, how we started, what sort of product we build, and why we think Wortherby builds a good product that will be right for your investors. So, John, do you want to take it away.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Wortherby, for giving us this opportunity today. Sorry, Holborn, for giving us this opportunity today. First of many, and we see this very much as an opportunity to create a long-term partnership with yourselves here. So we formed about 4 years ago with the common ambition to create suburban, affluent, aspirational apartments near key conurbations with excellent community feels, high employment opportunities, and really develop, as you said, Pete, a product that landlords want to own. There's excellent rental capability for them, and also owner-occupiers because of connectivity and the lifestyle opportunities around them. And as you said, we very much see this as a starting point as to would we want to live there, and that's how we approach all of our new developments that we take on. In terms of upcoming projects, we've got Sunbury-on-Thames, which is developed and completed. So we are selling this as completed stock, 33 units, a mix of 1 and 2 bed apartments. But we've got an incredible pipeline as well. We're looking to develop 10,000 units over the next 10 years. We'll be launching our scheme in Harborne for 44 units next year.
We can change that name to Holborn if you'd like to. We would quite like that.
Well, we'll see the branding on it, definitely. We've got a scheme coming up in Stratford-upon-Avon, the historic town there, gateway to the Cotswolds, Shakespeare's birthplace, for 107 units, which we'll be launching towards the end of next year. We've also acquired the Gracechurch Shopping Centre in Sutton Coldfield, which we're working with the local planners and interest groups there, and that will deliver about 1,000 units over the next 5 years in combination with a regenerated town centre for Sutton Coldfield. Sutton Coldfield, extremely aspirational for people to live in. It's one of the key areas of the Birmingham suburbs, and so we're very excited about that. We've also got planning permission for 430 units in Digbeth that we'll be looking to come forward with on site next year, and a number of other strategic land sites which are going to deliver in the region of 2,000 new homes as well. So we've got an incredible pipeline. We're very proud of it, and very keen to work with yourselves on this and going forward.
Thank you, John. So turning our attention to Centurion Gate in Sunbury-on-Thames, there are 5 key reasons we believe that Centurion Gate is a great investment opportunity for you and your clients. First of which, it's great value. Pete's already alluded to, and John spoke to this as well. Everything that we build and deliver is based on the simple question, would we live here? Yes, we would in Sunbury-on-Thames. And we're really, really proud to have delivered a product starting from just £300,000 a unit, which represents a low capital value when you compare Sunbury, the type of product that we've delivered, and when you benchmark it against other areas in the close vicinity, such as Richmond, Kingston, and even Staines. Sunbury is a fantastic location. It's just 12 miles from Heathrow Airport and 16 miles from central London. We'll come on to this a little bit later, but there's car parking. There's 1 space for every unit in Sunbury, in the Centurion Gate development in Sunbury-on-Thames. And driving into London is just 35 minutes by car, which is also really, really good.
It's worth just mention as well that is gated. The car parking is completely secure. So it is underneath the building. It's very, very good.
Yeah. Access via secure key fob, gated entry, like you said, Pete, is really, really good. The product is also high specification, good finish. It also benefits from a private residence garden that residents can enjoy all year round. And that's another unique selling point of the development. Developments like this don't have outdoor space. Our one does, making it a really attractive place for people to live. We've spoke about this already, but again, another key differentiator of this product is the fact it's completed. You can walk the site, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can smell it, you can come and inspect it. It's there, it's built, all the warranties are in place. As Pete said, it minimizes the development risk, and they're ready to generate income from day one. And then the fifth reason is the strength of the investment opportunity. We've got yields up to 6.9% on select units in the development. And Sunbury-on-Thames is expected to grow by about 20%. House price is expected to grow by about 20% in the next 5 years, 60% in the next 10 years, depending on what statistics you read. Working in partnership with a number of different agents throughout the borough, throughout the area, many people have said to us that they believe this is the best value development in the whole of London and Greater London when you take into consideration the location, the spacious nature of the accommodation, and the amenity on offer, such as the car parking and such as the private residence garden. Going to talk a little bit about investing in Sunbury-on-Thames. If anyone's got any questions as we're going through, please feel free to ask. Don't save them until the end. Happy to, make this as conversational as we can going through. But like we said, it's an unrivaled location. It's nestled between a tranquil riverside, and it's got great access to London, whether that be on train, whether that be by car. Pete's already spoken about this, but we're right next door to Sunbury train station, which has got direct trains 48 times a day to London Waterloo. Despite that, it's a very, very tranquil setting. And it's also got great road connectivity as well, with the M3 just 0.1 miles away and the M25 not very far away at all, which makes it great for commuters, whether that be commuting into London or whether that be accessing other regional towns and areas such as Staines, Slough, or Reading possibly as well. If any of you have ever been to Sunbury-on-Thames, this is why we like it so much. It's really, really leafy. It's very quintessential Britain. You're a couple of miles away from Hampton Court Palace, historic, where King Henry VIII lived. You've got the River Thames there with all the boats and some fantastic architecture and period properties in the area, making it a fantastic place to live and a great place to invest in. It's got a high-performing local economy, with a very diverse economy with a number of different sectors, but some of the main employers in the area are Heathrow Airport, which employs a huge amount of the local population, as well as BP, who have got one of their main research and business development labs in the area and a huge employer. There's loads of attractions, there's loads of things to do, which makes it a really desirable area for renters, whether that be great restaurants, great places to go for a drink, green spaces, historic attractions, so on and so forth. But we'll come on to that more in a little bit. But it's a really enriching experience for everyone that lives in the area. Looking at sort of house price growth and why this is an attractive place to put your cash or the cash of your investors in. House prices grew by 8.5% in 2022, and they're only going to continue to rise. Average values are really strong of properties. Average semi-detached property is 515,000, and the average value of a detached property in Sunbury is in excess of 750,000. The rental demand is huge. There's 20 applicants for every single property that gets listed on the rental market in the area, and the agents that we work with are really, really successful at renewing tenancies. Upwards of 70% time and time again.
Dan, can I ask a quick, or somebody just asked a quick question? As it's completed, and touching on what you just said, how quickly do you think there'll be a tenant? I know there are 33 units, and it's a difficult question, but what is the demand like? How quickly do you think it will get rented out?
We've got huge demand. We've already got instructions out with a select panel of lettings agents in the area. Because we were launching with you guys, we weren't sure if some people would want VP, some may prefer tenanted. So we held off, but the demand is there. And the minute that we press go to launch these, the agents are really confident. They did it on a comparable scheme. They let 30 odd apartments in one day, 3 days after launching. So these will fly out. We can provide numbers afterwards as to what units we've told the lettings agents to get on with. But as it's complete, you're going to be earning rental income really, really soon.
Great, thank you.
Only that, just to re-emphasise that point, 20 applicants for each property that comes on the market, the letting agents in the locality are incredibly positive about the opportunity to rent these out, and they don't have enough stock, and they're desperate for opportunities like this.
Yeah, it's in a good area, isn't it? As you can just see from that map.
Yeah. So as you can see on the map, like I've already said, 12 miles to Heathrow Airport, 16 miles to central London. It's nestled in and around this sort of M25 commuter belt area. Fantastic growth opportunity, but also for renters, you know, that simply can't afford to live in the likes of Richmond, Kingston, Hampton. Sunbury is a more affordable option for them, but a very desirable option. And with the generous space that these units provide to renters, it's really, really popular, and the rental price per calendar month that you can achieve from the rentals is really high because of the generous nature of the accommodation.
It's got a nice villagey feel about it as well, isn't it? I think Sunbury. I mean, they have a fete once a year on the river where everyone comes down. I actually remember going dongling, which is sort of rowing on the river, and their fete. But yeah, it's got a nice, you know, unlike the other towns around there, it's got more a villagey feel than, say, Kingston or Richmond. It's a nice area. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, I agree with you, Chris. It's a really nice area, very villagey feel. It's semi-rural, so lots and lots of green space around it, lots of cute houses, architecture like we've already spoken about. Then I think also for foreign investors as well, that may be interested in the wider area, you've got Surrey Hills, you've got Windsor, which obviously has got the royal connotations with Windsor Castle. It's where Eton School is. Slough, huge regional employer. Lego, Reckitt Benckiser, Unilever, all have head offices over there. And so it's a really, really good location, and you know, one that we're really proud to deliver a product in.
Yeah, we'll come on to this again in a moment, but also the connectivity to the local universities is very strong, excellent schools in the locality. So it ticks all the boxes for occupiers, investors to want to live here, and it's got that great rural feel to it, as you say.
Sunbury is in the council of Spelthorne, which is quite a progressive council. They've been acquiring lots of property in the area. They've got a great economic programme to bring inward investment into the area as well. Sunbury was ranked in Rightmove's top 10 buyers markets areas in Britain, with 31.4% of transactions happening there, with an average asking price of $503,000. And as you can see as well, there's various different articles that you can find for yourselves on the internet, which tells you that Sunbury is a really hot, in-demand area when you're looking at London commuter belt, and an alternative possibly to Surrey as well.
You've got some interesting people live there as well. Michael Caine lives there. Not a lot of people know that. And Penelope Keith lives there. Quite a few of the racing drivers live there, and some other people such as John Terry, Ashley Cole. There's quite a lot of film stars there as well, because obviously you're not that far from Shepperton. Plus you've also got Kempton within a mile. So
yeah, so if you like your films, Shepperton, correct me if I'm wrong, Pete, Harry Potter was filmed there, or part filmed there, as well as some other big films.
Harry Potter lives there.
And then, yeah, if you like your horse racing as well, you've got Kempton just round the corner, and also Ascot, not very far away, 16 miles away, I think, off the top of my head. But yeah, look, it's a great place to live. It was voted 8.1 out of 10 as a place to live. Just under 100,000 people population. It's really good from low unemployment rates, 3.1%. The national average is 3.8%, so it's doing better than the national average. And 88.5% of the population is economically active. So a really strong local economy. And as you can see here on the screen, it's home to some really famous brands, you know, big brands. Samsung are nearby. BP is one of the biggest employers in the area. British Gas, Hitachi, Salesforce, all of these guys are in Spelthorne Council. So within sort of a 10-mile radius. And then, like I already talked about with the wider map, you've got Reckitt's, the Legos, and Unilevers that are in Slough, and not to mention the big employers that are in Reading as well, which is just about 20 odd miles away.
There is no truth in the fact that houses are built from Lego either. They are actually traditionally built.
Very true. Very true, Pete. Over the next 20 years, London is getting bigger and bigger. So data suggests that an extra 1.2 million people are predicted to live in London over the next decade. And this will undoubtedly drive this overspill into London commuter belt areas like Sunbury. So the population of London is meant to grow 13.1%. 24% is the projected growth of number of households in the area by 2039. So this is all great information when you're considering investing in Sunbury and buying Centurion Gate. And 14.2% is the projected compound growth by 2024. Everything that I read suggests that that is on track to achieve that as well. As John said, we'll talk a little bit about the connectivity. 16 miles from central London, direct to London Waterloo in less than 45 minutes. And literally, Pete's been there himself, walked the site, inspected it. Centurion Gate is right next door to the train station, so it could not be more convenient. It's up to 48 trains per day. And the added benefit of car parking on site, if you wanted to drive into London, you can get in there within 35 minutes. So train or by car, London.
Yep. And then it'd take you another hour and a half to find a parking space.
Well, all the time you've saved, Pete, getting into London, you can afford to waste your time finding a car.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just some visual references of how far a few things is. Westminster, 15 miles. Knightsbridge, Harrods, 14 miles. City of London, 18 miles. Covent Garden, 16 miles. It's really, really close. And then you've got Heathrow, just 12 miles away. 78 million passengers fly through or from Heathrow every single year. It serves 84 different airlines, flies to 203 destinations, 80 of different countries. And again, going back to the local sort of economy story, 3,500 people, well, 3,500 people, local residents of the area, are employed directly at Heathrow. And 61.5% of employees commute less than 10 kilometres to their work, which suggests that they live really, really close by. Lots of stuff on your doorstep, shopping centres, places to eat, sports grounds. Pete and Chris have both talked about Kempton Park Racecourse. That's number 4 on this map, just about 3 miles around the corner. So if you like horse racing, it's a great place to go. Also, they hold an antiques market there every couple of weeks. So it's a real sort of centre point for the local community, and it's just on the doorstep. As you move towards the right of the map, you start travelling towards Hampton, where you've got Hampton Court Palace, you've got Bushy Park, lots of royal connotations, great leafy areas, house prices there. And me and John are there quite often. We drive past nice houses. You're looking at sort of 5 million upwards. When you're going down that neck of the woods. So it's really, really nice place. And you've got the Costas, the Tesco's, the Boots, the M&S, all of that stuff right on your doorstep as well, which is great for rental demand. And it's good to see some of the big players in the close vicinity there. John's spoken about schools. Do you want to talk about this, or shall I carry on?
No, the education provision in the locality is incredibly strong. We've got Eton College and a number of very strong state and private schools, as well as close proximities to key universities such as Royal Holloway, 8.7 miles away, and then into London for the universities of London, King's College, 17 miles away. So again, we keep coming back to the same thread, but the connectivity for local amenities, education, work is incredibly strong in this location.
Yeah. Loads of great places to eat and drink. Won't dwell on this because I think we're talking quite a lot about the local area, but fantastic establishments. A couple of pictures here of a 5-star hotel just by Hampton Court Palace called the Mitre. We go there fairly often for a bite to eat when we're down there at Sunbury, and it's got great selection of food and bar sat right outside on the River Thames. Beautiful, beautiful place. Other establishments, you know, again, really close by on your doorstep. You're really, really spoilt for choice if you live in Sunbury. Talked about the horse racing. We've talked about other historic attractions, but just to reinforce the point, absolutely loads of stuff to do, whether that be right on your doorstep, or whether that be a little bit further afield, but it's all sort of within a 20-mile radius. So really, really great connectivity. I think we've spoken quite a lot about the area, the investment case, why it's a good place to put your money for stores of wealth, wealth accumulation, all of these good things. Now let's talk a little bit more about the property. As you can see here, it's just an exterior of the property. You can see the nice view of the private residence garden. As Pete said at the top of the call, the car parking is secured, so it's undercroft car parking and some out to the rear of the property that you can't see in this picture. But it's all accessed via secure key fob gated entry. Really, really secure place for your cars. The car parking spaces are available at £15,000 a space.
The garden areas are quite pleasant as well. It's great to have a little bit of green around, but you know, you can go for a little walk around it. It's not. It's actually large. It's probably twice as large as you can see there, just to give you an idea. So because it's longer, but it's got that real good feel. Yeah, it's quite nice. You're not hemmed in.
The other aspect that you can't quite pick up on from the image is just how tranquil and quiet it is in this location. Although you've got such great connectivity to the main road network, the trains, all the other great stuff we've talked about, when you're actually sitting on your terrace here, it's very tranquil, and on a beautiful day, it's a lovely spot, gets the sun, and it's very surprising just how quiet it is at the actual site.
Yeah, and you know, we've been there in recent times in the summer. You know, get the barbecues going, you sit out on your balconies. Selected units has got balconies, as you can see here in the picture. Some of them got wraparound balconies, so dual aspect. Really, really, really great outdoor space. Plus then the private residence garden. It's definitely a unique selling point here. And all the lettings agents are wax lyrical about the outdoor space, which is a big contributor to the demand that they're getting for these units right now.
And Dan, it is part conversion, part new?
Yeah, so you can see here, Chris, can't tell if you can see my cursor or not, but just to the right of the second lot of balconies, almost in the middle of the property, you can see slight variation in the colour of the roof. To the right, it's a new build extension. To the left was the conversion, of the original building. But as we all know, office conversions make for really decent size flats. And these are definitely very big, very spacious. You can see here with some of the dormer windows in the roof, for example, makes for very interesting sort of architecture and in interiors inside the property. They don't feel like square boxes.
The other thing I'll say to you is you would never know that it was an office building previously. It's really quite impressive when you walk into it. And as Dan's just said, when you go into, especially some of the upper spaces, it's got some really quirky architecture internally because of those curved head windows. But they are spacious, a lot more spacious than you'd get with any brand new build, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Pete, that's translating into the rental figures as well from all the agents, because they're big, because they're spacious. It means that the rental income is a little bit higher because of how they get priced.
All got good kitchens as well. All the kitchens are excellent. So
yeah. So on that note, Pete, from a specification point of view, balconies available on select units like we've just spoken about. Solid wood effect flooring, natural carpets, solid doors. There's nothing in here that's, cheap. All good quality materials have been used. Kitchen units are by Schmid, so they're all gloss handleless, good quality kitchens with quartz worktops and Bosch appliances. Every kitchen has a Bosch induction hob. It has an integrated fridge freezer, integrated Bosch dishwasher, integrated Bosch washing machine, so on and so forth. So it's all there. It's all plumbed in. It's all ready to go for you. Wall hung soft close toilets, porcelain floor and wall tiles, central heating, passenger lift, video access control from the exterior, CCTV in the communal areas and corridors. And then, as we've already touched on, the private residence garden, car parking available, and also for the bikers out there, there's a bike store also in the car park area. Just a couple of pictures here before we get into some actual images of what the units look like from an interiors point of view. You can see here the types of materials that have been used, from the wood effect floor to the gloss handleless kitchen doors, the quartz worktops, and the plush sort of soft natural carpets in all the bedroom areas. Really, really nice on your feet. We've got 2 show flats at the property at the moment, and here's some pictures of them. They're furnished. We've got walkthrough videos that we've taken and produced that we can send to anyone if you need it to share with your clients. But this is one of the living spaces in one of the flats. Again, you can see here lots of light coming through the big oversized windows, very, very spacious and generous proportions. Got a picture here of one of the bedrooms. You can see the nice soft plush carpets, spotlights in the ceiling, really big bedrooms. Probably the pictures don't do it justice, but big, big bedrooms. And then also as well, you know, some of the shots of the kitchens here where you can see the appliances, the glass splashbacks, quartz worktops, and the nice kitchens as well. Looking outside, just to show you another couple of shots from inside the perimeter wall of what the garden looks like. So units on the ground floor, some of them you can walk out directly into the garden. And you can see there as well in the bottom left picture, some of the balconies overlooking the garden as well. Really, really nice out there in the summer. Undercroft car parking, top right. Very, very spacious out there. You know, if people wanted to do a workout or do, you know, some exercise or so, you could also use the space out there for that. And bottom right picture is just probably can't see it very well, but a picture of the bike store and some of the other facilities there on site. Just run you through some of the floor plans. Please also, if anyone's got any other questions, please raise them. Happy to answer them as we go through. But you can see here, this is the ground floor. There's 4 units on the ground floor. The one, flat number 3, I don't know if you can see the numbers there, but that's one of the ones that you walk out of your kitchen and dining room straight into the communal garden where residents can enjoy all year round. Flat 3 is one of the show flats. If anyone wants to come and inspect, happy to take you around there and give you a tour of the building. Moving up onto the first floor, again, you can see just the units that have got the balconies overlooking the garden and some of the wraparound balconies as well. Selection of both 1 and 2 bedrooms, various different floor plates and configurations. And in the building, we've got 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 1 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 2 bedroom, 2 bath as well. Different configurations and layouts. Moving up onto level 2 and then onto the roof as well, where you've got a lot more 1 bedrooms and I think 1 2 bedroom apartment on the top floor. Just going to talk about some numbers really quick. So we talked about at the start of the call, these are really well priced, great opportunity, as Pete and Chris have both said, for a bulk purchase. Really, really unique situation where they're all built. Great asset management opportunity for a fund, family office, seasoned investors that want to take the income, maybe have the appetite or the experience to manage a building. Only 33 units, so it's a right size, good size. But the 1 beds start from 450 square feet and they range to 598 square feet. So for a 1 bed, good size, generously proportioned. And the 2 beds range from 590 square feet to 853. So some really good size, big units in there as well. Really desirable for renters. Starting prices for the 1 beds at 300,000, 2 beds from 365,000. They're all priced at £600 a square foot, which, like we said at the top of the call, low capital values compared to other surrounding areas. Not to mention names, there's other schemes in Spelthorne, such as Staines, for example. You will not be able to buy any of them units for less than £400,000 for a one bed, and the price per square foot is into the late sixes and the mid sevens for 1 and 2 beds there. Rental income is good, again, linked to the size and the generous proportions of the apartments. For 1 beds, you're looking up to £1,600 per calendar month rental income. And for 2 bedrooms, you're looking up to £1,850 per calendar month rental income. Selected units, you've got really, really attractive yields, up to 6.9% on some of the units. But most of them, you're around 5.5% gross yield on the building overall. Something that Holborn does very, very well, but your investors can benefit from a fully managed investment property. So we've got the capability, or through Holborn as well, to access premium management agents, high levels of customer satisfaction. Your clients get all the benefits of a fully managed investment, none of the hassle of having to do anything yourself. And we will help you, like with the demand for the renters that we can evidence as well, help you maximize your investment and make this really, really, really worthwhile and a great place to store wealth, build wealth, and maximize your investment. Just circling back to this thread, just to remind everyone, the 5 reasons to invest in Centurion Gate: great value, fantastic location, quality product. It's complete. You will not get 33 units in a completed block like this in this location. And it's a great investment opportunity. If you reserve today, as advertised on the website, reservation fees for £5,000. Reserve today, we've got discount reservation fees for £2,500. And if anyone's got any other questions, please feel free to ask. It's been really great to have the opportunity to talk to you about Centurion Gate.
Dan, Kieran's on. She's always on. Thanks, Kieran. Good to see you. Service charge?
Service charge is about £3.90 a foot, but we can confirm all of that afterwards, Chris.
Okay, and full price list will be available through us, and we'll get it across to you. So, Kieran, thank you for that. Another question that came in: is there a premium, or do you really think that the ones with the balconies are going to get the most interest? Somebody's asked.
In terms of letting interest, is that?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a plus, but how much effect does it have on the price?
All of the units have got their own nuances that really generating value. So the ground floor units don't have the balconies, obviously, but they do have direct access into the communal garden space. And other units, because, as Dan said, of the conversion nature of part of the building, they're incredibly oversized, some of the rooms. So they've all got their strengths. So the benefit of the terraces is great, but actually it's not going to be that those are the ones that rent and the others are slow. They've all got their strengths.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've all got the garden. So whether you've got a balcony or not, every unit has got car parking if you want it, and every unit's got the benefit of the private residence garden. You can enjoy it all year round. So as John said, every unit's got kind of a unique selling point to it, whether it be size, whether it be the architecture that Pete's spoken about, whether it be a 1-bedroom with 2 bathrooms, for example, an ensuite and a family bathroom. Great for people when they're entertaining guests and stuff. You haven't got to go through bedrooms, so on and so forth.
And great for renters as well to share.
Yeah.
Another question that's come in, because it's quite popular at the moment, is Airbnb style. Is it open to that, or is it not in the lease?
Yeah. So
I was going to add, no, there's no restriction against Airbnb on the leases.
Okay, that's good.
I can't express enough that to get an unbroken block of 33 is as rare as hen's teeth. If there are any seasoned investors listening in, or any of the wealth managers that have people that are interested in bulk purchases, you're never going to do better than this one. The fact is, I've not seen a block comparable to this all the time I've been here. So it is a rare opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. We've got some interested people, but yeah, please get it out there. This webinar will be on our website, Kieran. The brochures and everything are already loaded up on the website, but we'll send you everything anyway, Kieran, as always. Anybody else got any other questions? Then you know where we are. Dan, I love it. I think it's great. I really do. And I do know the area. And I just, yeah, I said it earlier on, it's got a nice villagey feel about it and a nice little fete once a year. John, nice to meet you. We've got everything you need. And if you go to our website, you can see this webinar and previous webinars already there. Pete, got anything to add? Where are we looking next? Where's your next little trip in your Ford Anglia?
Oh, got a busy old week next week. I'm up to Liverpool to look at an opportunity there. I'll go to Manchester, Birmingham. I'm going back up to Clitheroe. It's interesting. I posted a little clip on Clitheroe. Don't underestimate Clitheroe. It's a superb place. Just one little tiny fact before we leave. Any of you that are into cricket, Surbiton is the birthplace of the Ashes in 1882. And I didn't know that until I looked up this morning. So it's always good for a pub quiz.
That's always a good reason to
somebody
buy.
where the Ashes actually started. It's Sunbury.
Yep. I read that. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Pete. See you all next week. Any questions, you know where we are.